Welcome to Tran Plays Synergy. Let's go ahead and talk about settings real quick before we dive into the game. One of the things I do like about this menu is it gives you a tooltip for almost everything. However, number two, a bad thing about it is you may have light text on light background depending on which of these menus you're in. It's not a really good look. Like right here, it's good. Dark background, light text. The very first one, it's light background, light text, doesn't work. I'm going to go ahead and set this to do not reset the speed. I already tried playing the game, and I went through the tutorial. It kept resetting back to 1x speed. Look, I set it to 4x speed for a reason. Don't trick me into thinking I'm going at 4x speed, and I sit there for a few minutes, realize, oh, wait, it's 1x again. So I would set this to no, don't reset that. Maybe after each event you'd like it to pause. That's a different story. Now, the third thing about the menu here is there's no tooltips for these options, like resource ripping. If you haven't played the game, you don't necessarily know what that does, but there's no tip for it. You can't click on any of these and set a button. Now, the reason why I have to do this a second take is my F1 and F2 keys actually turned off my OBS because that was the way I set it up for Between Horizons to go to the spreadsheet and the video game. So we're going to go and select the new game. And I have already done the tutorial. I think the game is complex enough that I should take you with me on the tutorial rather than going on to the story mode. Today's look at the game will be tutorial driven, but it is a complex game. The origins. A group of exiles who were driven out of the dried out oasis that had protected them until then needs to recover despite their meager resources. However, the climate challenges them at every turn and the desert is full of strange and dangerous mysteries. If we get 2,500 points, we'll get a gold star or gold hand icon. We have 40 cycles, each cycle is 40 days. The fact that this does not take place on Earth gives the environmental feeling a less preachy vibe, and we'll take a look at it together. Into wandering. 2 generations, our community lived in an oasis protected from the hazards of the outside world. But, like everywhere else, we were driven out of our homes. All is not lost. After crossing a sea of sand, we reached the shores of some new lakes. No matter how toxic their water is, it will be pure bliss to us if we can treat it. Your citizens need clean water to survive. To get it, you need to build a pontoon so you can draw toxic water from a lake with special tanks. Toxic waters must then be treated and purified in a basin to become clean water. All collected resources must be stored, such as clean or toxic, food, and any other resource from small warehouses. Go ahead and start building. We're going to hover over this small lake. Let's build a pontoon, which is this right here. I think that looks good. Then we'll build 2 basins. The shift key rotates your building between 2 different directions. And we'll need a water tower. Road, since you guys want to walk this way, we'll make it like that. I don't know if I can make I don't know if that works for you. Let's see how he does. I mean, it kind of works. So they're going to go, since you're building that, we're going to speed up time. And I can't build anything else just yet, but here are your filters for building. Roads are free, so we might as well make this. We built 1 pontoon. We're going to work on the water tower and storage basin. We can start assigning some people. They wanted to walk around here, so we'll go ahead and make that as well. Just road that up. There you go. You guys can decide how you want to do this. In fact, let's see if anybody takes this shortcut. There you go. You have fun with that. And add some people to this and this. What's going on here is they're drawing toxic water from this, because you don't want to drink that, and then they're going to clean it with those basins, and then they're going to store it in the water tower. We now own infrastructure to treat water, as well as a healthy and sustainable irrigation system. However, seasons come and go, hectic and harsh, and we risk a disaster if we don't collect enough supplies for immediate consumption. To keep our buildings running smoothly, we must store enough clean water to prepare for a drought. Getting clean water is essential for the city's survival. The scarcity of water means the growing needs of the population need to be balanced. Certain climatic events, such as dry season, can be fatal. A cycle is a period of 40 days. So they currently aren't working on anything yet because they need this to be dragged out. So as they collect toxic water, someone's going to ferry it over to the basin, and then they're going to work on that. We're gonna build some more roads while we wait. I mean, this is not really the best way to make the road, but I'm kind of curious if they will do this. It doesn't look like they did. So maybe we need something more like this. We're still waiting to collect that clean water. We just saw that it filled up. You may have seen it while I was building this road. It just filled up. Once they have purified it, they're gonna fill up this cycle. We're already at 4 times speed. Someone's gonna run over and take the water and put it into the water tower. So they don't like that road when they can take the other road. The oasis inhabitants have slept for too long under the stars, with only an expanse of canvas to protect them from the extremes of the climate. We need to provide shelter and sustainable buildings. For that, we'll need materials, as well as warehouses to store them. Heaps of rocks that can potentially meet our needs can be found all around the area. Let's use them wisely. Buildings require resources which can be obtained in various ways. The simplest method is to rip them out. Use this method to collect rock from rocky amalgams. We also will need a warehouse, but the game has just allowed me to build one. Alright, we'll put the warehouse right here. Then we'll select rip out and pick all these rocks. Unfortunately, the way the game kind of does selection is not a square like your monitor is shaped, but more like what you would see on a rhombus on a math test. So you have to pick from the left corner rather than the top left corner, and then go to the right corner is probably the best way to do it. Come on, you interrupted my road. Citizens need a roof over their head to protect themselves against rough weather. They must also be near a cellar. So a cellar essentially works as a place where your guys can get food and water for the houses. To nourish themselves, citizens... Yeah, we already covered that. Since all resources must be carried by citizens, it is important to have citizens not assigned to any building and therefore are available as carriers. We have 10 people total. I've assigned 2 to the pontoon and 1 to each base, and that's a total of 4. That means I still have 4 assigned workers and 6 non-assigned workers. The other 6, they'll do things such as hauling or transporting like RimWorld. Houses. There are 3 different flavors of houses that you can build. You'll notice that there's 10 rock and 4, we'll say bamboo, or 10 rock and 10 bark, or just 20 rock. Since we already have access to rock, let's just go and do that. Build some houses in this direction here, since I know what's coming up later. Looks like it's working fairly well. Oh yeah, I was going to build a road straight this way. There we go. Click on that just to get rid of the exclamation mark. And thankfully speed is still ×4. I was getting frustrated thinking like, I don't remember hitting speed ×1. And I would apologize to the video for it being speed ×1. No, the game just kept doing it to me. Yeah, that worked for him. I can actually see them running that. All right, we built... Oh, we need a cellar? Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, that looks good. That's fine. We needed to get all the houses built anyways. Few more roads. Probably won't need this one, but just in case. There we go. Then they'll fill these up. The food we brought with us is dwindling by the day, but picking the strange and prickly fruit growing in the area, not to mention eating it, is risky. Before anything else, we must eliminate any danger related to the exploitation of these plants. Although we do not have a lot of scientific knowledge, the Oasis' old distiller is able to perform basic chemical experiments. Equipping it with a mobile working station, we could start our botanical studies. Performing environment analysis with the field laboratory enables you to discover the characteristics of nearby plants. Plants that you would find, use your laboratory to study it, and then you can find out how it would grow, or how you can harvest it, or even destroy it completely and what kind of resources you get for that. Ripping out things will get you different resources than just harvesting it. For example, you might find a tree that gives you food if you harvest it, but will give you bark if you destroy it, or seeds. You see here that this is what it looks like when it's not collected, and when it's collected it can be regrown, or ripping it up will just destroy it completely. Need a picker's cabin. And a field laboratory. Can I destroy roads? I don't think I can. Rip out? How about this? Yeah, okay, I can destroy roads that way. So let's go and analyze. Start with that and have someone immediately start working on that. And analyze that, this, and all the way over here, one of those. That should be every plant on the tutorial map. I'm gonna go and pick. All of this food. The cabbages, so we also need to pick watery pods, so we'll go ahead and pick these as well. And that should do for that. Alright, let's take a look at these. Never mind. When a citizen interacts with certain plants, they may get a wound. Performing analysis on plants is essential to identify dangerous interactions. In case of wounds, the patient needs to be taken to the infirmary. Although wounds are not lethal, they reduce moving and working speeds. Beware though, getting a wound a second time makes it progress into exsanguination, which quickly leads to a patient's death. I'm going to cancel everybody and just add... No, I would like someone that isn't wounded to work. Now that we have been damaged, we are allowed to build an infirmary, so let's go and do that. And then let's go take a look at our analysis reports. The cabbage shrub, ripping it out, will produce vegetables, as well as some plant waste. It does renew vegetables every life cycle, so we could just collect it. Trimming will just get vegetables only. Harvest or trim it. Okay. These are the Diluvian bushes, which allows me to get water pods. This is for the quest. We can also get some branches by ripping them straight out or trim them regularly. This is useful, at least in the tutorial, and more for shade than for harvesting. We'll get to that in a bit. Ripping this out will give us some seeds, I guess that's what that's supposed to be, and trimming it makes them lose all their fluids and kills them. Giant fungus can be cut at the base to collect it whole. Apparently, hold on, there's one more that I must not have done, and that's this. That's pretty important to me, so we'll get that done. You guys, he just ran over like locusts. I'm hardly the player to be doing eco-friendly stuff, I think. So now, we've finished working on Cinder Sprout, which allow me to get bark. That is necessary for a lot of construction. We'll probably never use this field laboratory again. We're going to leave it unmanned. And with this one, we're going to go ahead and pick all of this. Hold on one second while I check something real quick. I want to view my plants again. How do I view my plants again? Infirmary. The infirmary produces complete treatment for all sicknesses citizens can suffer from. However, treatment duration and remedy quantities may vary. When a citizen is treated, they can perform no other tasks. The infirmary allows you to select what sicknesses to treat. So some cures require remedies. You must build a pharmaceutical factory. Right. Let's go and have a person doing that. Go and cancel you. People on that. I need to find my analysis of knowledge. Cinder sprouts. Okay, so if I pick it, renews their epidermis after some time. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to try to trim it. That's fine. As for the Diluvian bush, we still want to pick it, even though we'll be getting hurt by it. Cabbage shrub. Probably trimming is the way to go. But I'm not sure if we'll ever need the organic matter. Probably not during the tutorial, so I think it's okay for right now. I'm just trying to minimize how much my people are getting hurt. This is already at max capacity right there. We need to collect 12 more watery pods, but I want to wait until our people are healed up. That's why I'm waiting on that. I don't just think I'm putzing around. I'm still building another picker area because we need straight up wood. Okay, well, while that works, I'm going to hit P for priority and make these the priority collection for any of their work. Stuff will grow over time. So you may find more cinder sprouts as time goes on. I'm going to select these individually because I can't mass select them. And then hit the P button on them. This one I can't select yet, probably because it's not ready to harvest. I'm not sure why. I want to make them all priorities. Looks like we're about to finish with the wounded. We're still getting wounded pretty bad. These are... Oh, we don't want whipping gourds. Hold on. Maybe I haven't researched them. I think that's what it is. To obtain certain resources, a refining stage might be necessary. For example, tools crafted at a forge or dishes prepared in the kitchen. Certain versatile production buildings can produce several resources. We'll talk about that one in a bit here. The building's production speed depends on its efficiency, which is mainly influenced by its number of active citizens. Recipes can be affected by bonuses or penalties through research, or proximity to other buildings, or bad weather. Yeah, that's a different one. I think that's why we're still getting hurt on all this. So let's subtract all of these whipping gourds. So I'm getting murdered by them. I thought they were just small versions of these bushes, but no, these are way more dangerous than that. Okay, Infirmary is still running at full speed. We'll attach a second person to it so we don't lose anyone. We haven't lost anyone, right? Yeah, nobody's dead yet. Okay, best not to pick this plant's lianas. They lash out hard at anyone that attempts it and can wound them. Once the plant's lianas wither, they stop being harmful and can be trimmed. Ripping out whipping gourds and piercing their membranes allows us to collect their clean water, although the latter tastes like overripe vegetables. So I rip them out then? I'm not sure I understand this whole liana bit here. Or is trimming it make it... No, it says can be trimmed afterwards. Okay, I'm not entirely sure about that, but we could set that to trim. Actually, I'm not sure how to set trimming. Maybe it's a technology we need to research later on, because it wasn't covered in the tutorial. All right, now that we have stopped bleeding ourselves on all those things, we'll go ahead and let's make one of these. A kitchen. Hopefully that'll stop messing with us. We'll leave one doctor on hand. You can just chill. It's fine. It's a tutorial. We'll be okay. I think there's anything else for you to study. I would imagine not. I don't really see anything jumping out at me. I don't know if we've done that one. Yeah, that's just a pink one. Alright, that's fine. I'll give you something to do. Kitchen is built. Assign a worker. So here's what this is you, and I would say when this person walks in and interrupts what you're doing, I would say switch resources to the developers if they're even listening. Stop. I'm trying to talk about this. I'm not even clicking. So instead of produces rough oatmeal from seeds and water, switch that, because the player looking to make a food dish probably doesn't care what their people are eating, just wants to make whatever resources you have available. Give the most important information first. Produces from seed and water, or uses seed and water to produce oatmeal, is what I think it should say. We're going to need a lot more veggies, which means more of the cabbages need to be worked on. We'll set those to be prioritized. Come on, I'm hitting P. Sometimes it doesn't always check, though it makes the little clicky sound. I think it's because I'm going too fast and going through all of them. Alright, so were you just not working on... Come on. This one? Yeah, I think that's what that meant. That's probably why I wasn't able to harvest this one over here. There we go, prioritized. So they'll get the pods in their spare time. Everybody will. Good, it selects that. Can find more veggies over here. Sure, let's do this. That looks fine. It doesn't look like I'm gonna get myself hurt on anything. And they will try to prioritize getting bark for me. We have 20 simple dishes. Forge is ready to go. But we need some branches. Which means we'll probably need to use the rip out action. No, that's not the correct item anyways. This is what we need to... The trimming must be activated at a picker's cabin. But I'm not sure how to do trimming. Do I cancel everything? Is that how you do trimming? And then you select the picking? Maybe that's it. Let's try. Don't really want to have to keep selecting everything over, but... You know what? Here, this is easier for me. We'll make a new picker's cabin. So this is 3 picker's cabins. Okay, we can make some stone crafting to make tools instead of clean water cooling. That's fine too. Now they're ferrying stuff in. They got some rocks. Now he's working on it. We can have them quickly produce that. Yes, right here. Trimming. But you can only do one at a time. That's a little weird to me, but okay. Just trim the things that are very far away. Oh, those are the whipping gourds. Guess might as well trim them too. We have enough to survive, at least for now. Still, mere survival won't keep the citizens motivated, and many are already moaning, "What now? Why toil and work every day just to get a ration of food and a sip of water?" To keep the population motivated and allow the community to live again, it's high time to think of this camp as a real city. We must plan and build common living spaces dedicated to sociability and leisure. You now know how to provide your citizens with food and clean water. Their basic needs are therefore activated. With no food or clean water, they might suffer from malnutrition or dehydration. If the list persists, they may develop weakening and die of hunger or thirst. Citizens can pass away from starvation, thirst, sicknesses, or expeditions. Once you have guaranteed your citizens' survival, it's time to conceive a city with architecture that makes sense and is pleasant to live in. Building a square allows you to start forming a district. There are several squares and various district types per square, each having its own specifics. Buildings belong to the district of the nearest square. To be valid, each district needs a specific building. Other buildings add to the district's points. Slow things down for a bit here, and you are still trimming. Okay, that's fine. We just need to add some people to trim that stuff. Slow that down. So we have some haulers. Okay. Here's the square. fits perfectly right there. Assign some special haulers. We'll say 4. 4 is a nice number. You know what? Let's go all 5. 5 super haulers. Citizens assigned to the carry tower are exclusively dedicated to transportation. Due to their specialization, these citizens can carry up to 20 resources. We don't have enough people to... Yeah, we don't have enough people to build yet. So we'll go ahead and pull 1 off of infirmary. And 2 off of transportation. Alright, now oh, it's not done yet. Okay, let's go and speed things up. This is where all my people went. I don't need them to keep working on tools so much. We'll just leave one dude there. Our cultural square is done. Now we get to pick a district, and we want to pick the social type, which has several different things which automatically cycles through. But what happens here is you see maybe this one cycle between the different icons, like just for now it's cycled this where the mouse cursor is. It's cycling between those 4 things. We want to get rid of all the riverbank fingers, which is why I told them to just start ripping them up. We have -50 for buildings, but I don't have any of those buildings nearby. There is a forge, but it's not in that district. Housing satisfaction. Your citizens' well-being is closely related to the quality of their housing. Beyond basic needs, housing quality is assessed according to its access to well-being, social interactions, cultural spaces, and places of knowledge. This well-being, social, knowledge, or cultural knowledge. Cultural knowledge look very similar. For instance, schools apply a bonus knowledge around it. In this tutorial, we will focus solely on access to well-being, which is dependent on vegetation, water holes, and shadow surfaces. Consult the well-being heat map to see the most suitable places. It's right here. We want to build a house within level 10, but we already have many of our houses in level 10, so that's already done. We need to assign 4 citizens to a scent garden. We're going to go and put over here. This is fine. That's for a future district. We'll need some benches and tables. Second, we have 1 table, 2 benches, and street lamps. We could do that. I'll put a bench here, and press shift if you want to cycle anything. So we'll just slap some chairs down. I think that may even be backwards. Oh, that's extra tables. That's not necessary there. It'll be our communal area. How about that? Where are those street lamps? Here we are. Come on, I clicked. I think the game lagged, maybe auto-saving. Click on that to get rid of the exclamation marks. So that is almost done for how many things I can get from it. Sun awning and well. It's in anything I've unlocked yet. A small fountain, long fountain. Here's a sun awning. And we'll want a second one of those. And those, get rid of them. Irrigation canals, bushes. Apparently we're missing... Oh, we have the table. That's right. So we want more of those things. Maybe a lamp. I clicked, but lag. That is one super gardens at 500 points out of a possible 900. And then the tutorial where not everything's unlocked, that's probably pretty decent. Okay, assign 4 citizens to a scent garden. Take care of that for a second. Citizens have noticed a strange phenomenon. A luminous dot, blinking chaotically and only visible at night. They fear it could be a distress signal. Numerous volunteers have asked to investigate it and organize a rescue operation if need be. Let's select some explorers and equip them for the trip. Two systems shape the game's progression by introducing new possibilities, research and exploration. At the start of the game, most buildings are not accessible. Research can unlock effects for buildings, such as bonuses or new tasks. Research is separated into two trees, each with a distinct theme. We have purple for technology and green for cultural, I suppose. Exploring the world provides opportunities to make important discoveries. In addition to finding resources and welcoming new citizens, explorers can discover new plants to integrate, along with precious knowledge that can be found in tablets. Expeditions are both costly and risky. Citizens sent on exploration will have to make difficult and dangerous decisions. Cultural square, and we'll just plop you here. That looks fine. We'll need a research center. We'll wait for that to finish first. How's this place going? I assume that you're... No, you're not done cutting things. Can I see where you are? I can see where you live. Okay. Yeah, he's just regularly trimming them. This is not yet done. We're still at 4 times speed. We didn't assign anyone to this yet. Put that on. And on cycle 6, it's going to be a dry spell. We have 300 water, which is going to be plenty. We need more transporting going around here. 50%. I don't know why it's... Oh, because I probably have 2 people in it instead of 4. Alright, this is done. Scent Garden. There's none of these for the historical district. Creative district. When a citizen suffers from malnutrition or dehydration for too long, they may succumb to weakness. It is essential to make sure your citizens have enough food and water. In cases of weakness, the patient needs to be taken to an infirmary. Although weakness is not lethal, it reduces moving working speed. Beware though, suffering from weakness a second time makes it progress into atrophy, which quickly leads to the patient's death. Okay, let's go ahead and put a person back in there. Are homeless. Let's get some more of that. And the first time I did this run, I had so many houses. Actually, let's look at the well-being map. Alright, I want to know who gets benefit for the scent garden. This has all these bushes, and that's not the historical district then? One of these places gets a benefit from the scent garden. I thought. Hall of Wisdom, Art Gallery. I don't see anything. Alright, we'll just hit... Oh, it says here +1 positions in cultural building. Oh wait, that's maybe the benefit. Alright, whatever. I was gonna put the scent building next to it, but I remember there was specifically one that was benefiting it. Yeah, let's go ahead and work on the research center. Put you right across the street from it. And we can't build the explorer's hut until we've researched, so that has to be the thing that happens next. We're no longer homeless. How's the treating going? Yes, you are being treated. We don't really need you laboratorying it up anymore. We have 9. Okay, we have 9 spare people. And you are... What are you doing? Oh, you're eating. Okay. Alright, research center is done. Let's start mad science. Select the project to start. You can only perform research linked to an already completed project. You cannot switch researches either. You can't interrupt. So we're going to start with the Explorer's Hut. And the D button still does not work for that panel. If pressing D here will pan to the right, but in the research window does not. Beware next season will be dry season. That's okay. We should be fine. I made sure that we had plenty of water. I didn't run out of water in the tutorial. The 2 was plenty. This is 3. 3 is going to solidify it. We'll need to finish researching before we can unlock the exploration stuff. Yeah, we know that already. Okay, the bench was done. Thank you for telling me that. That absolutely needed my attention right there. Yeah, and I don't really know what these guys are doing. I guess they're just adding happiness to everybody. Embassy, library. There it is, Synth Garden. Why don't I have any points for it, though? It's literally right there. I don't get it. It's not in the other district. The kitchen was built before this cultural square, and it does count. The kitchen was built very early on. The Synth Garden was built before this cultural square, but it doesn't count. Is that a different Synth Garden? I don't know. City banner. Let's get one of those out. I'll put it next to the starting point. We need 5 of those, so I guess we need to slap them down. Anything else besides banners? Just banners, okay. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll need a 5th one. How about there? The entrance of town leading out to the desert. Clay roads, we don't have any of those. I don't think we can build clay roads. We can build fountains, though. Lag's trying to keep up with me. Small fountains and long fountains. They both modify the same amount. Oh, it says area of effect 9. So we'll do some long fountains. And we need one more. Place a small one. Just shake things up. Need some more rocks. Rocks do replenish. While we're at it, let's go ahead and take the tool guy and tell him to stop tooling, since we don't have the rocks for it anyways. Exploration research is done. Click on all these, get rid of the pop-ups. I don't see any rocks yet. I should have been looking earlier. These fountains are done. I'm surprised the Synth Garden does not count. That is the wrong one. Do I need to build a second one? Requires 10 tools, 10 rock, and 10... I don't know what that is. Looks like toilet paper. Okay, floating crystal, cubic statues. Well, let's go ahead, since we should have resources to build the explorer's huts under strategy. I thought... Did we not finish it? Wait, that's not strategy. There is strategy. So I did click the right one first. There it is. Not sure if Market Square belongs to anybody, but we can just put it there for now. We can always dismantle it later. 5 cubic statues and floating crystals or ornate. Okay, they all add 7 area effect, modifies within range 3. Start slapping some of these babies down. Good 5, so that's a... Come on. So when the game lags like that and you're right-clicking somewhere, it permanently holds that right-click button until you click again. That's 3 right there. 4. Come on, lag. 4. 5. That's fine right there. We're racking up that score. I need 2,500 to get a gold star on my tutorial, which I ended the first try with like 2,700. It's not hard. All right, Explorer's Hut is done. We can send people out. On the world map, select the destination to launch an expedition. Doing so requires supplies, the quantity of which would depend on the number of citizens you wish to send. The further away the area, the longer the expedition and the greater need for supplies. Alright. This says strange glow and intriguing light glows on the horizon. Such phenomena often end up being some kind of trick. This is not your mission objective. It's this cave. Even though it doesn't have any text here for it, the tooltip above it says, this is the source of the chaotic blinking light. We should examine it. We're not quite ready to finish the tutorial yet, so let's go and send people over to this one. Because I accidentally bought myself some extra time when I was doing this. I accidentally bought myself some extra time by... Do we not have enough toxic water? Alright, let's put in some more people then. Yeah, I actually bought myself enough time or extra time by going to the cave. I think by the time I started the cave, I was at 2,200. So I actually had more points last time, but I may have been going through this a lot slower than I am now. Available. Let's go and research some more. And expedition has reached its destination. The explorers aren't hoping for much. How many ponds seen from afar have actually been mirages? For once, though, the long journey leads to a region full of lakes. Of course, the water is mostly toxic, but our supplies could use a new source. Besides, where there is water, there are often humans. Also, the surroundings around these lakes are quite green, and we could collect some plant matter for them. Let's go and collect some plant materials. That's the same thing we had last time. The reeds growing by the water become flexible once wet, so they can be used to craft various items. Have nobody died yet? Nobody died in my tutorial either. I'm just asking, checking. We need a Hall of Wisdom and 3 more stone houses. That's why I didn't necessarily try to fill up these spots right here. Would be a house in this range. Stupid right click buzz. Stop! The right click thing, it's happening every time it lags. Your citizens have returned from the expedition and brought back 60 plants. There's a sunshade tree growing there. Let's just go ahead and rip that out. This house is not lined up with the rest, but that's okay. Let's go and send out another expedition. Now that we've hit this area, we can see other places. We'll start with this one. Wait, we have 4 citizens available. Maybe they just need a haul or something for a little bit. Research. I thought I told you to research already. Okay. Finish ripping that up. Okay, build a house. Then we'll need a Hall of Wisdom, which will be something we can research. That was another one of those lag clicks. Trying to leave some people free so I can send the expedition out. There we go. Apparently they're not close enough to the cellar. Ah. Alright. We'll just rebuild those houses somewhere else then. Yeah, I don't know why it's suddenly lagging so bad. The game did just patch, and it wasn't lagging this much before the patch. Let's go and destroy these 2 houses. We'll get some resources back, but not necessarily all. These houses will look different, and that's okay. We have enough bark, which I think this one was required. Let's try waiting for the tool. Yeah, I'm sure we got bark by this point, since we've left one person on bark duty this whole time. Research complete. This is the Hall of Wisdom. Yeah, let's take care of that. Yeah, I can understand the forge actually deducting from this one. So we should just build it further away if we wanted. Arborist Workshop? Oh, that's new to me. That's probably one of the things we just researched. I don't see where the forge's at. Fortunately, navigating this thing's not always simple. Alright, looks like that. Okay, what does it require? 20 stone. Oh, come on, are you still not? Oh, darn it. I built it. It's still not in range to stone house. This is in range. All right. Third time's the charm. That cellar range is just lethally short. Expedition has reached its destination. The explorers discover a dozen small courtyards made of stone and set close to one another. At the center of these courtyards, there are two symmetrical cylinders lying diagonally. When one of the explorers triggers the slab in one of the courtyards, the left cylinder starts hissing steam up towards the sky. While the right cylinder projects some light onto the steam, water droplets are used as a screen for a projected image showing a rampart in ruins overlooked by massive towers. In order to do this, we would need advanced harvest methods. Let's just go and analyze the images for some culture. Much to the party's disappointment, it turns out that the projected city was never built. The projectors only contained the memory of an ambition, a city that would transform with the inhabitants' natural desires, instead of creating and structuring said desires. The blueprints are still worth seeing, and the explorers copy the plans and ideals behind the project in their notebook. Try and draw some water. The cylinders allowing the projectors to create the screen are covered in condensation, which, if delicately treated, can be collected. Due to its origin, the resulting water is particularly rich in minerals. +2 technological artifacts. On my tutorial, I got nothing. They failed. I mean, the first try at this. Break those, yeah. Nobody working in a lab, that's fine. Probably don't need someone working in infirmary for right now. We still haven't reached that point threshold yet. I don't know how I must have gotten there. 3 citizens available. We'll wait a little bit for them to clear up then. I think it's just because I was very slow at it. I'm going at light speed now, comparatively. I mean, you can see I've definitely been working on my districts. Go to the Hall of Wisdom. Sucker is massive. Alright, we'll cut this up. Come on, keep up with me, game. Alright, that's all working this time. We have enough to send an expedition out this... Yep, let's go and send some out. T-bar, longhouse, turret house. Let's work in the Arborist Workshop, since that's new to me. And we might be able to plant some trees in this area, making this even better. We need 3 more of these kind of shrubs. Let's say Diluvian bushes or something. Research center is ready to roll. Can't research these yet. T-bar, we can... Oh wait, never mind. We need a finished Hall of Wisdom. I can't pan to the right, so I have to zoom. I have to close the window and then pop back in. Have that. Can't scroll by dragging. Okay, I think we're actually done with all the research, other than getting the Hall of Wisdom up. It just reached its destination. The desert ground, although dry, takes on a clayey texture as the explorers progress. The sun mercilessly illuminates the area, making plain the party's complete solitude, apart from a companion of the strangest kind. They come across a grayish 2 feet wide stone. quietly cruising through the sand. The travelers can't help but ask out loud where it comes from and where it's going, but the stone doesn't answer. Driven by curiosity, the explorers consider their various options. Okay, I guess we follow the stone. The stone seems to continue its course forward, deviating only rarely to avoid rocky cracks in the landscape or blocking bushes. As the desert night freezes every limb and fails all forms of progress, the explorers finally see their efforts rewarded. They see a paved courtyard displaying a receptacle for the traveling stone. The ladder sinks into the ground, continuing its way under the slabs, away from onlookers and triggering a mechanical hum. It finally emerges on the sand on the other side of the structure. Whatever in-between process it has gone through remains a mystery. We get 20 carbon bulbs, vegetables, and cereals. Okay. Arborist is still being worked on. That we got branches for you. Come on. Get some more rocks. Hall of Wisdom is done. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. I saw this. I thought that meant that it was done and needed workers. It doesn't look like it's going to get any points until it gets the Hall of Wisdom in. And I was wondering if maybe that was why the Sensing Guard didn't count. But these show that it counts for the other things. Arborist is just finished. Let's plant. Notch says drip plants to extract their fluids. Okay. I was hoping that there was a planting thing, but alright. Since we have the new option available to us for that, reach a prosperity score of 2,000, we're going to go ahead and assign people to the laboratory. And I guess we don't have the new analysis type, the one for drilling. Okay. This is done, however. So you're terracotta roads. That would be one of the things we needed. Environmental impact, ground quality. We'll do this one for now. Alright, as for the expedition, upon approaching the oasis, the explorers spot a series of poles and bridges between the trees. They see some animals with incredibly fine wings resting there, their delicate and taut skin reflecting the blue sky. The party gets closer to observe the creatures, who seem to be wearing man-made harnesses that hold their wings in place. But the creatures are aware and take off hissing at them. With no visible faces, the noise seems to come from slits in their rib cages. I haven't done any of these exploration ones except for the new province, the false light, and then the cave, which is the mission objective. We can consume some, we can place some bait for using up 20 simple dishes and clean water. I wish it would tell me like what you might get out of this, such as meat or something. We'll place some bait because we want to try to get along with them. You know, the game really has an environmentalist feel to it. Though, that being said, it's the people who are not really at fault. It's the corporations and their private jets, if you wanted to look at environmental concerns, instead of pointing angry fingers at each other. After analyzing the droppings of some beasts and concluding that their diet is mainly composed of seeds and fruit, the party prepares peace offerings. Bringing out a few treats, they try to lure the strange animals so they can observe their anatomy and behavior. The winged creature's most striking characteristic is in the physical difference between all members of the same group. Signs of aging between the youngest and the oldest in the flock show only after 1,000 years, with their skin becoming thicker and paler. Those who built the aviary and harnessed these creatures probably all died long ago. We got 20 culture out of it. The creature is used to our presence. Let us get closer to the roost and nest. This allows us to study the writings of the inhabitants of yore. Your mama? No. How are we doing on water? We're at 279, so we're actually losing a little bit of water. We should probably get some more of that. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, we can't send one other one back there. Camp. Our scouts have spotted something that looks like a camp in the distance. They don't know if it's abandoned or in use. I mean, we could try drilling. Just Apparently there's nothing I can drill. Nothing around here is that my character can drill. Oh, they can drill that. Let's see what happens. Need to assign one worker. One brave warrior. As for the cultural square, yes, that does have its completion there. Although nocturnal illuminations are rather rare on the explorer's track, today the sunset shyly unveils the orange glow of a collection of torches. Huddled in a semicircle near a lake, the villagers make way for the newcomers. A decanter containing some fresh infusion is passed around, before the mirror-masked storytellers approach their audience. Which approach will you choose? This one. The history the storytellers recount is familiar to most. Contagious amnesia spreading from village to village, children failing to recognize their parents' faces, oracles once full of cliches becoming impossible to interpret. It is one explanation for their current condition, a myth to fill their story's blank pages. In this case, at least, the story ends with the promise of another dawn for humanity. After the show, the gap between the audience and the storytellers closes in. The artists place wooden beads on the surface and sharpen their chisels. The explorers also wish to hear those popular tales and remember them with pictogram-carved necklaces. Trading stories would honor their tradition, although the party could also use the speaking time to convince the storytellers to join their city. Okay. Dice roll. We'll talk about our discoveries. We've explored a lot. Storytellers are not impressed, and they focus their attention on other people in the audience. Our city's tale will not be immortalized on this day. I mean, we've hit a lot of things, including... Well, we didn't hit that yet. But once we do that, we've got our points. We can hit that now. Alright, let's see if it gives us any information about having drilled that. It gives us no info. Just gotta wait for those people to return. And then we'll send them out to this. Well, maybe we should hit these two. We'll hit these two since we're almost done with it. We might as well. Why can't I research this? Probably not in the tutorial. Unlock the following upgrades. Or maybe we already have that. I'm not sure. We have those two checks. Seed scattering. That's what we needed. The planting trees over here to ramp up that district. We haven't built one of these yet. I don't really know what it's good for yet. We'll go ahead and just slap it down. We'll say here. Hoping to refill their water supplies, the explorers head towards a lake. Sadly, the water's transparency is deceptive as it contains a mixture of acids that even the best filtering processes can't handle. Unwilling to attempt such water, the party is about to leave when a red scaly creature suddenly bursts out of the water. For a split second, an abdomen marked with a protuberant silverish veins appears on the surface, before disappearing beneath the blinding reflection of the sun again. The explorers are intrigued by this unknown creature, but their thirst wears them out, and it is still not too late to look for some fresh water in the nearby streams. Now let's explore the area. However calm the water looks, the creature seems to be hiding perfectly within its depths. While the explorers are searching for it, something else catches their attention. A turquoise glow seems to shine through the rock. It is a familiar color that makes the whole party wonder whether there could be a tablet beneath the surface. Collecting it would require at least one explorer to stay underwater for a considerable amount of time, and the water's acid content can't be underestimated. Get the tablet! The diver seems confident her suit can protect her. Equipped with some mining tools, she managed to extract the tablet from the lake in less than an hour. Yeah, you're a hero! We don't really need that, but it's just something we can research. So can we... Environment impact, here we go. Come on, let me click it. Let me click it. Market Square. Research Center, Stonehouse. Can't research that. Can't do anything with that. Can't do anything with that. I could nope, can't research that at all. Not that. Not that. I feel like I should be able to pan like this. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell what I'm allowed to research. Like, this is glowing. Maybe it's because I have it selected. Okay, never mind. And okay, that you would think I could research, but I don't know, man. T-bar. I guess we've already researched it. Maybe we just haven't built it. I feel like we've researched it already. Let's go and pull people out of that. And we're done researching everything. I feel like I remember picking that. Kitchen, arborists, pickers, cellar. No, I don't see it. Reaching a highland from where one can see for miles around, the explorers meet with a gray cloud that covers the ground as if it were flooding it. Some think of it as a pyroclastic flow emerging from a nearby volcano, while others feel an abnormal heaviness in the air. Still, there are no traces of sulfur or ash. After forming a vanguard party, they approach the cloud. Their suspicions are reinforced when they feel cold droplets on their neck. This abnormality is probably a result of some deeply affected microclimate. They have to make a decision. Should they risk stepping in the cloud or not? Explore! The explorers emerge from a layer of steam and come across a sedentary community living in some sort of perpetual mist. A guide comes to their aid, proposing a tour of the city. He begins with the air conditioning tower, which taps a high-altitude airflow and carries it down to the ground. Its system produces powerful steam all around the village. Once the tour is finished, the guide asks the explorers what they want to do during their stay. Okay, we could collect resources, we could get a new plant called a blue hydra found, or bond with the inhabitants. I don't think we have any use for the tree right now during this early access tutorial. We're going to bond with the inhabitants to see what the messages we get are. The citizens are curious to hear about the outside world. Tales of harsh seasons and scarceness seem to elate them rather than frighten them. They admit to being less than satisfied with their lives in the hidden city, speaking of a life where each day resembles the next and the horizon stops where steam rises from the contact of two atmospheric movements. Many have only ever seen the sun bleached behind a grayish veil in the sky. After this meeting, they are ready to face the unknown. A small group of citizens decide to follow us back to our city and discover what lies beyond the sands around their refuge. And we also get a report of environment impact on the sunshade tree. It likes to help organic matter to proliferate. Sure, why not? That was not very helpful, but okay. You keep researching that. Let's just ramp up that research. Just to find out more about these bushes, because this should be consistent among games. So if you find out as a player what these are like, then that can help you in the future. Increase their presence of whipping gourds near the... Okay, so if I plant something like that around them, I get more watery pods. That's an interesting idea. Kind of like the ecosystem aspect of that. Whipping gourds. They don't respond to scattering attempts. Scientific crafting and harbor. Oh, and this is a different kind of district. Oh, come on. The forge is just outside of range, but all right. We're pretty much wrapped up here. We've hit all of the points. We've got the we've hit all of the expedition points, and we've got the score points. It's time to hit this one. We could send more people if we wanted. Let's send 6, just because we can. It's not necessary. It's just for fun, for the lulz. Yeah, there's nothing for me to research, so I don't know why you're glowing red to me. As far as I know, there's nothing I can do here. Wait, I clicked on these before. Cultural research is in progress. That's a Hall of Wisdom thing. Cultural research available. Come on, let me click it. I feel fairly positive I was clicking on all of them in the Hall of Wisdom. Maybe I had misclicked and was clicking the research center. I'm surprised I have that many people available to work on that. Expedition has reached, and then we're wrapped up here. Let's go. Come on. I don't really need close up, but go ahead. In the bed of what had probably been a strong stream long ago, the explorers followed the luminous signal they spotted from their city, and that leads them to a cave entrance. Although the code coming out of the cave appeals to the thirsty traveler, it forebodes something strange. Once they enter the cave's narrow entrance, their path stops, closed off by a rectangular slab. The interstices on both sides are lit in a rather chaotic way. Rays of light seem to persist in the air and on the dust. What could the slab be hiding? The explorers freeze and hold their breath, listening to the water seeping into the cracks and cavities of the cave's ground. Using echoes to guide their actions, they discover a safe passage. The tunnel has obviously been dug by human hands. Some tools lie on the ground, apparently abandoned by their owners. The party collects them before carrying on their expedition. We had 45 protective gear and 45 tools. There is a vortex in the middle of the room with a glow that provokes headaches. A metallic contraption forms a perimeter around the whirlwind, but it is hard to guess its use as it seems to be out of order. One of the explorers introduces the tool into the vortex by fixing it to a rope, and the item comes back unharmed. She asks for permission to explore the inside of the vortex. Allow an explorer to enter. The explorer comes out of the vortex, her face and body marked with the blue symbols found on the tablets. She seems suddenly filled with new wisdom. Our exploration party came back safe and sound from their quest to find the source of the strange light. However, we won't always be that lucky. We live in a dangerous and largely misunderstood world. Exploring it will require time and precious resources, but it will also involve taking some lethal risks. Once we recover our strength, we'll start exploring nearby areas, and maybe try and understand the strange phenomena hiding in the desert. The City Prosperity Score shows your city's sustainability and well-being as it faces the challenges of the outside world. The score is refreshed every day. Reach 800. I think we were about 800 when I was about to hit that expedition, so I needed to farm some points. It is the sum of all district scores with a bonus for each district type and all housing scores. A penalty is then applied if you are homeless, sick, or dead. The community, which seemed doomed not so long ago, is thriving again. Despite all its hazards, the world is no longer seen as just a menace. It is also viewed as an open door. Still, everyone is aware that at the slightest sign of complacency, our infrastructure could become overwhelmed by the unexpected and by our community's growing demands. We must improve our understanding of the natural world to predict it, despite its unpredictability. Fortunately, we are not the only ones facing this challenge. A new group is aiming to recreate bonds between isolated camps and share humanity's knowledge. We need to follow in their footsteps. Victory! And we get our gold star. 0 deaths, 46 people. It took me an hour. Where others would merely hope to survive, you have reached prosperity. Your city is the first step in humanity's blooming and is in harmony with the environment. Go ahead and hit continue and just make a save in case we ever wanted to visit this again, which probably won't happen. Alright, so this did actually take me longer than my first run at the tutorial, but we did hit all of the expeditions, and I think I did manage to cover more of the game in doing so, without me fumbling around and lost trying to figure out what they mean by cultural squares or well-being stuff. Like, I already had the house planned out. I really like the atmosphere of the game. I don't feel like I'm being preached at that some sort of, environmentalism good and consumerism bad or anything like that. I just feel like it's a game and I can play it. If this game is right up your alley, being able to build stuff like this, there's a link in the Steam store page below. Watching all the people run around kind of reminds me of this old Egyptian-based building game a long time ago. You would play essentially a dynasty, and I remember having children die with like a brick falling his head. Alright, thank you very much for watching Tran Plays Synergy. I'll see you next time.